Hello, sports fan, and welcome to the Packs for Breakfast 1992-2022 All Star comparison. So what you're looking at here is the pitching battery, the catchers, starting pitcher, closer. Every Sunday, Chris and I open up a bunch of packs, and we try to come up with the best All Star team that we can. From the 1992 Upper Deck, these are the pitchers and the catcher we came up with, and from the 2022 Tops, that is the pitchers and the catcher we came up with. I've done 3 other videos, did the shortstop and second baseman, did the hot corners, did the outfield, and right now, the 2022 is winning. It's like they're winning 2-1. Probably on the scorecard if I was to pick. I would definitely have taken the first and third baseman from 2022, and I'd have definitely taken the outfield from 2022. So now, can at least the old timers tie this up? Their representatives are going to be Brett Saberhagen as the starter, Benito Santiago as the catcher, and Rob Dibble as the closer. Now, I made a video on these guys last week, so I'm not going to go too in-depth on them. But Rob Dibble only played 8 seasons, had 89 saves with a 2.98 ERA, was 27-25 in his career. He was on a World Series champion on that 1990s Reds team, and he was a 2-time All-Star. He had 645 Ks. He was very good. He was part of the Nasty Boys with Norm Charlton and Randy Myers. They were only together for a couple of seasons, but they were pivotal to that Reds team winning that World Series in 1990. Brett Saberhagen, the starter, 167 and 117 with a 3.34 career ERA, and he had 2 Cy Youngs. So he's got 2 Cy Youngs to his credit. He was also a World Series MVP in the World Series that he was a part of in 1985. He is a very good pitcher. He was a Rockies pitcher for a hiccup in time, and I always kind of liked him even as a Royal. Benito Santiago, one of my favorite catchers to ever play, had 217 career home runs, 263 average, 5 All-Stars games, 3 Gold Gloves, was the NLCS MVP in 2002, which was towards the end of his career. He played till like 2006. So that's the battery. It's like I talked about him in another separate video that's on this channel. Fan favorite Benito Santiago, probably not the greatest catcher of his era, but to me, one of the better, more underrated catchers. Rob Dibble, I'm not sure why his career was so short. I don't know if injuries shortened his career, but he had that high leg kick, which is on display right there. And he had some nasty stuff. Saberhagen, just a strong, just a good, solid #1 pitcher, Cy Young Award winner. Now you look at the other guys. And this is where I think we're going to start to lose. We're going to start to lose the plot. 92 is going to start to lose basically just off of this first guy, Yadier Molina. One of the best catchers to ever play the game. And he was there for 19 seasons. 277 average. He didn't have as many home runs as Benito Santiago, but he did have more All-Star games. He had 10 All-Star games, and he had 9 Gold Gloves. 9. That tells you he's considered one of the best defensive catchers of the era. And he was a 2-time World Series champion. Jacob deGrom, well, let's go to Clase. Emmanuel Clase has 158 saves in his career, 1.67 ERA. He has been amazing the last 3 seasons for the Cleveland Guardians. Probably one of the best closers going right now. Last year he was just unhittable. 0.61 ERA with 47 saves in 74 games, 66 strikeouts. Unbelievably talented. He did get lit up, I think, by the Tigers in the playoff series they had together, and I think the Yankees got to him once. But for the most part, Clase has been amazing. He's only played for 5 seasons and already has almost twice as many saves as Rob Dibble, and his ERA is just 1.67 at this point. And he's still got a ways to go. I think he could easily rack up another 200-300 saves in his career before it's over, and maybe be one of the all-time save greats if that's what they continue to do with him. Sometimes save guys only have a good 3 or 4 years, and then the arm starts to burn out, because usually they're your hardest throwers and they've got some of the nastiest stuff, and then they just don't last as long. Guys like Lee Smith and Dennis Eckersley should be commended on being able to stay closers for as long as they did. Even I'm thinking, is it Wagner I'm thinking of? It might be Wagner, played for the Houston Astros. They had long careers as closers. Then this brings me to probably the most interesting guy on this list, Jacob deGrom. Jacob deGrom, when he's right, is one of the elite pitchers in the MLB. But for the last 5 years, he has not been. Now, for his first 5 seasons, easily one of the best pitchers in MLB. His last 5 seasons, he has only thrown about 250 innings. So about 50 innings a season in his last 5 years. His career ERA right now is 2.58. He's 84-57 with 1,666 strikeouts. Last year, he only pitched 10 innings in 2024. So he had 3 starts, and that was it. And then he was pretty much down for the season. But when deGrom is right, he's one of the best. And I'm going to go off of maybe his first 5 years on this one. It's just been sad to watch that a guy that could throw 200 plus innings in a season is now down to basically barely being able to throw an average of 50 innings a season. So I don't know. It could be, these numbers that he's had over 11 seasons. If he can't solve the injury bug, he may have topped out 5 years ago. But if I had to pick, do I want these guys, Jacob deGrom, Yadier Molina, and Emmanuel Clase, or do I want Dibble, Saberhagen, Santiago? The thing that's going to make me lean a little bit harder is the fact that Clase seems to be an elite closer as opposed to Dibble being a good closer, and the fact that Yadier Molina is an absolute legend. So I would definitely give the edge once again, 2022. So doing this comparison, 2022, I would take their outfield, I would take their hot corners, and I would take the battery from 2022. The only thing I'm taking from 1992 out of the cards that we pulled, Craig Biggio, Cal Ripken Jr., and that's All Star for now.